Hello guys, welcome to Jambo Jango with me Terry. Today I'm going to be doing a Mount Kenya recap. I had promised you guys a while back that I was going to do this, so today is the day. I'm going to be sharing with you guys what you need to know before you hike Mount Kenya, what you need to know or do while hiking Mount Kenya, and at the same time I'm going to be sharing my story. To begin, Mount Kenya is in Meru County, so there are 3 routes which one can use to get to the mountain itself. For us, we chose to use the Chogoria route. This is because it is very scenic. You get to see, hey, wow, like it was so magical. You get to see the Nithi Falls, you get to see the Mau Mau Caves, you get to see Lake Ellis and actually camp there, which is so magical. I like Lake Ellis. You get to see Lake Michelson, you get to see Lake Kamau. Actually, there's a lake called Lake Kamau there. And yeah, it is just absolutely beautiful. It might be the longest route, but it is definitely worth it. So I would suggest to you that you use that route. Big shout out to World Springs Adventures. This is the tour company I used for my trip to Mount Kenya. They had really nice, actually excellent services. If I had to go back, I would still use them. So I would highly recommend World Springs Adventures for your trip to Mount Kenya. So anyway, before you hike Mount Kenya, you should do a bit of pre-hikes. With World Springs Adventures, they had this package whereby the pre-hikes were included before the main hike, which was Mount Kenya. So the pre-hikes were the small hikes that took part every weekend, or rather, mostly weekends. So, and they involved places like Mount Longonot, Elephant Hill. I think there are normally like five of them before you actually do the main hike, which is Mount Kenya. This is important because you need to make sure your body is very active before you hike Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya is not a child's play, to be honest with you guys. I did not do the pre-hikes. Reason being, my trip was very abrupt and random, and I made it. Don't get me wrong though, this is not to say that you don't need the pre-hikes. You need them because Mount Kenya ilinikalia personally. Like, I really struggled with it. I think if I did the pre-hikes, then I would have done better. So yeah, that's the point number 1. You just need to do your pre-hikes. Secondly, you need the right gear. You need the right gear for hiking. I got all my items from Nairobi Mountain and Hiking Gear store. Actually, I got everything I needed from that store at a very affordable price. This includes items like hiking boots, which are very important because there are some parts which get really rocky. The normal sport shoes cannot even survive. So you need the hiking boots. There are different types of hiking boots depending on your taste and brand as well. The prices vary from 3,500 to 10,000 depending on the factors that I have just told you about. You need hiking poles. There's some very uphill areas which just need the pole, the hiking pole. So it is equally as important. You need a raincoat. The raincoat is important because you will not stop hiking on your way to, hey, like, even if it rains, you have to keep going because of time. So if it rains, you need the raincoat, obviously. You also need a small backpack, which you will use to carry your snacks for the day, because remember, you're getting snacks for each day. For us, we hiked for 3 days, so I had snacks for each day. For example, you need energy giving foods high in energy, like the fiber bars, that is just to make sure you don't feel hungry every other time. You need soda, especially Fanta orange. You need chocolates, you need biscuits, like, you know, just the snacks that are also very light. You don't need to carry heavy things because the snacks will be on you, not the porter. The daily snacks. You can put the other snacks in the porter's bag. By the way, you need a porter's bag. That is if the tour company you're using is not giving you one. Luckily, Wild Springs Adventures had their own the backpacks for the porters, so we were sorted when it came to that. It's not to mean that there is no food provided. Food is provided 3 meals a day. Breakfast is provided before you leave camp, like, you know, you're camping every day. So before you leave camp, there is the breakfast, but then lunch, you'll have your lunch once you get to where the porters have stopped to actually make you guys lunch. So you can imagine if you're very slow at hiking and the porters are really fast, actually. They get there like with twice or thrice speed than you do. So that's why the snacks are important. So need to make sure that you have very warm clothing, especially fleece jackets and thermal wear, because it can get cold. Okay, for us, we went in December 2020. And you know, December, the weather in Kenya in December is a bit rainy, a bit sunny, but mostly rainy. So we went during a very critical time. So for us, the weather kept on changing. Like during the day, in the morning it was chilly. During the day it would get warmer and warmer, but at night it was super cold. And also in the afternoon, sometimes there would be a lot of fog, so you could not see where you're going. But luckily, we had a guide who knew all the routes and the trail. So yeah, it is also important to have a very good guide. Make sure your tour company just gives you a nice guide, because if you get a bad guide, then personally, I had a guide who was like a sweeper. A sweeper guide is a guide who works with slow people. So I was slow, obviously. It was my first hike. So shout out to Japhet Mutwiri. You can find him on Facebook, actually. I also have his contacts in case you need it. Just talk to me. I'll give you his contacts. He was very sweet, he was very understanding, and he was very encouraging as well. And I forgot to mention, part of the hiking gear, you need a sleeping bag. The tent is provided, but make sure you get a sleeping bag, not just any sleeping bag, but a warm sleeping bag, because it can get super cold. Actually, for us, on our last night, so that now you could get to the peak, we camped at Camp Mintos, but it was so cold. Remember, there is snow at the same time. You're camping outside. It was so cold. We had like these heavy jackets, thermal pants, a fleece trouser, socks, boots, and you're in a sleeping bag and you're in a tent, but you're shivering. I was really shaking because of the cold. So honestly, just make sure you're sorted when it comes to just warm clothing. It is very important. Please make sure that you equip yourself with painkillers and muscle relaxers. They're very important because obviously after a long day of hiking, you need your muscles to relax before the next hike, which is normally on the following day in the morning after your breakfast. You need the painkillers because you can get migraines and headaches because of what? The altitude sickness. Personally, the altitude sickness really affected me on the last day, actually, on our way to the peak. I got this bad headache. My body had a lot of weakness. I had nausea and vomiting. I had a very bad stomach upset, which was accompanied by a running stomach. So I had some medicine which I took, and also my guide gave me some more, but I definitely didn't heal per se, but I felt much better. So you can imagine how I would have been, or what kind of situation I'd have been in if I never took those medicines. So you want to make sure you carry some of that. Altitude sickness can affect people in various ways and different ways. Some get migraines, some get sleepy, some get all the above like I did, and some are not really affected. But you see, for us, as I said, that time the weather was really bad. We were hiking and it was snowing. So yeah, you can imagine. Also, for people who really believe in themselves, when you wanajiaminia ati you can use the map and hike by yourself, honestly, I think such people really joke with their lives. Because on our way to the peak, as in me and the guide Muteri, we had a hyena. I don't know, honestly, but we had it. Good thing he had this, he had a, what is it called? Okay, he just had this sharp tools, which he would have actually killed it if it's tried to attack us. So you can imagine if you're alone and you don't even have anything for yourself, anything to fight back, just go with a guide. Don't be stupid. My body can't take it anymore. I'm having so much dizziness and headaches and a stomachache. Again, there is nowhere to charge your phone. So be sure to carry a power bank or power banks, at least 2 power banks. If you're the type of person who needs to take a lot of videos and a lot of photos like me, like myself, I carried a power bank which took me through the days. The guide had this a small solar panel, a very portable solar panel, which he could charge as we hiked, like on his back, and it could charge the phone. But because of the weather, we could only charge once because our weather was mostly rainy and chilly. So just be sure to carry the power banks. Also, when you're hiking, make sure you put your power banks in a warm place, like in your backpack, inside where it's a bit warm, because the phones and anything that has charge tend to lose the charge because of the weather. When it's cold, it just tends to lose the charge. So you want to be, you want to just save yourself with the energy and power. Yeah. Also, there is no network coverage. There are like 2 points in the whole hiking journey, which only the guide knows, that have network coverage. So be sure to inform your friends and family before you go for your hike that you might go missing for days. For me, I was offline for 4 days, but I spoke to my folks twice, just as I've said, of which it's not even, you can't even talk for long because the network just disappears. So just be psychologically prepared that you're not going to have a lot of communication during your hike. So yeah, which is actually very peaceful, to be honest with you guys. So if you're not gonna have to talk to anyone, just don't do it. Just enjoy your time with the people you're hiking with, like I did with my friends and the guide. And yeah, it's just so fun. It's good for your mind and for your soul. So You don't really have to talk to people as long as you have informed them before you hike, because of course there are worries for your safety and such. So for my OCD guys and my clean freaks, there is no showering in Mount Kenya. You'll just be able to get a very small amount of water, which you can use for washing your face, and it will be from the potters, the one they use for cooking. So just be sure to carry plenty of wet wipes. Remember, you're also going to be changing inside the tent, so just be ready for that. You just clean yourself, change, which is for people who are tall and big. It's quite interesting, or rather, let me put it that way. So just carry plenty of wet wipes for your cleanliness. Remember to carry a reusable water bottle, and don't worry so much about water. There will be water refills every other day, especially on the first and second day. The third day could be a bit tricky, so you might have to survive on one bottle all the way to the next camp. So you just make sure you have a reusable water bottle also for the environment. So I think that's it, guys. Basically, the charges for us, we paid 30,000 for the 3-4 days. They're about, if you want more days, because I understand hiking can be different for everyone. If you would like to take more time in your hikes, then you add more money, which is approximately 10,000 per day or 8,500. Yeah. So with the food covered, the tent covered, the potters and the guides, if you would like, please carry tips for those guys. They are very, very hardworking. They're very sweet. They're very helpful. And yeah, so that's all you need to know. In case you have any more questions about Mount Kenya hike, please feel free to comment down below with your questions. Feel free to also comment and say what you think about Mount Kenya. From me, I would encourage anyone who wants to go to just go. The body will be tired, but the kind of experience you will have is to die for. You will never forget it. It is such an awesome experience, which I think everybody deserves to have. So if you ever get time and money and all the resources needed, I mean, just go for it. It's really good. I would definitely go back, but maybe not past Michelson. But yeah, it's an awesome experience. So till next time, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and comment. Bye.